Hello Leo, welcome to Fifth House Divination. My name is Kirsty and today we're doing your options May 2021 reading. So in this we're going to have a look at a situation that may be coming towards you in May 2021 that's going to present you with the choice between two options. So we'll look at the situation, look at the options, and then we'll have a quick peek to see how each of the options may play out. Obviously this is in the hope that if we understand what the possible ramifications of our choices are, then we can make a more informed choice, really. Guys, the cards are really lively. These readings are general, so please do just take them as they resonate. And feel free to check out your other sun, moon, rising signs if you know them, guys. Okay, so Leo, we're going to use the Tarot Illuminati, and this is the Heaven and Earth deck. We'll get a couple of clarifiers on the outcome cards for you. So let's get started then, guys. So what's coming in towards you then? The Chariot talks about movement forward. This is being crossed by the Four of Swords, so this can talk about maybe some form of healing or some kind of rest and recuperation that's needed that is stopping this Chariot from moving forward. And what that's doing for you is it's throwing you into the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about material independence, material self-sufficiency, possibly singleness for some of you. So the options, the choices then is between the Six of Wands, which talks about recognition, celebration, or the Ten of Cups. Some form of emotional fulfillment or emotional connection with another person. The 10 is with other people. Okay, so how this progresses, Six of Wands goes to the Alchemist, which talks about manifestation. Ten of Cups goes to the Hermit, which talks about sort of really kind of looking deep inside, moving forward based on your own thoughts and processes. And then at the Alchemist, we've got the Judgment card. Okay, the outcome. And then the outcome of this side is the Eight of Wands. I will get clarifiers, as I said, for each of these final cards. And the underlying energy is the Hanged Man. Okay. Which makes sense with the Four of Swords being there. Okay, so Leo then. So the underlying energy for you is this Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is a feeling of stasis. This is sort of withdrawing, a situation not moving forward. This is sort of being in stasis. But he's hung himself from the foot. And the Hangman talks about seeing things from a new perspective. That in the story of the Fool, the Hangman purposely withdraws and hangs himself by the foot so he can see the world from a different angle. So I feel that more, sort of on a wider scale within your life, there is a situation that's not moving forward, or you're looking for some form of new perspective, or you're trying to see something from a different angle. So you're not taking any action at the moment. And certainly what's coming in for you then, the situation that's coming in for you is the Chariot card. And the Chariot talks about movement forward. With the Chariot, a lot of the time this talks about aligning or combining two separate forces. We've got this brown horse and this white horse. Bringing them together, getting them to work in harmony, in union, pointing them in the same direction. The person controlling the Chariot has to be very sort of active and proactive in getting everything to work together and point in the same direction. And through that we then get this really sort of swift movement forward. We make progress with this card. But again, this is being blocked by the Four of Swords. So this is similar in some ways to the Hanged Man, but the Four of Swords talks about a retreat because there is a need for some form of rest and recuperation. The rest and recuperation is from, so we've got the Three of Swords on the wall, and we've got this fourth sword, and this talks about getting clarity or some form of perspective about pain, loss or disappointment in the past. This can be talk about recovering from some form of loss. So I feel very much that you're at a point, there is a point of stillness here, because there is some sort of new perspective or some kind of recovery that is happening, and this is blocking this movement forward. So the reaction to the situation is the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles, it can be the single person, but it talks about, fundamentally it talks about being materially self-sufficient. The Nine of Pentacles is having everything that you need, being able to defend yourself. You know, you've got material stability, but this is something that you have achieved and something that you work for on your own. So there could be some kind of consideration of how you can be materially self-sufficient, materially abundant, or materially independent in some way. The choice then for this Nine of Pentacles, of how we go about this material self-sufficiency, we've got the choice then is the Six of Wands, which talks about recognition, glory, or the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is emotional connection with other people. Normally this is the family card, you know. At the Nine of Cups, where we have emotional contentment based on things that we've done for ourselves. At the Ten of Cups, this is emotional contentment with other people. So I feel that this is there seems to be some sort of choice between emotional connection and contentment with others, or some form of recognition or glory, or possibly being the leader in some way, shape or form. So there is a real sort of choice there between the two. The Six of Wands is also, it's the success card. So it could be that whatever family dynamic, you may be in a family dynamic that to be able to be successful, whatever that means for you in this card, you have to choose between this family connection or this emotional fulfillment with other people, or being successful in some form of endeavour. So if we go down this left hand side then, so through this, if we pick the Six of Wands, so if we pick the recognition, the fame, the fortune, the success, that sort of level, then this brings us into the Alchemist. So there's going to be some requirement for you to use all of your resources to manifest something, to create something, to make something. So with the Alchemist, he's the Magician in some of the other decks. He has a little bit of everything. So he's got a sword of the mind, he's got the pentacle, which is the material resources, he's got emotions or spirituality, and then the wand is the sort of the will to take action. So if you go down this route here, there is going to be some requirement or some sort of necessity for you to create or to manifest something. You're going to have to put all of your resources into it. You don't have everything that you need, but there is going to be some level of manifestation. And then at the end, the outcome, I will get a clarifier for this after we've looked at the other side, is the Judgment card. And the Judgment card is the second to last major arcana. And it comes in just before we close out a cycle. It can also be the Rebirth card. So with the Judgment card, we get to a point where we're looking at the past, we're having a look back over everything, and it's like, well, okay, do we want to close this out now and move on to something else? Do we want to go around again, or do we want, if for those where you may be dealing with something that there may be something coming back to you, sometimes this can be a rebirth of something, but as I say, we'll get a clarifier for that. On the other side, we've got this Ten of Cups. So this talks about emotional fulfillment in connection or with other people. And so this is always the sort of the family card for me, but it can be just groups of people. Or this could talk about emotionally at the tens, sometimes that is a closing out. At the tens, a lot of the time, we may get to a situation where we feel that we have, sort of, we've kind of gone as far as we can with the situation. So obviously take that as it resonates. For me, that it was first coming through as a choice between sort of family or some form of recognition and success. But for others, it could be a choice between this recognition and success, or possibly understanding that a connection or some form of connection has gone as far as it possibly can. Maybe you've got enough out of the situation. You've got emotionally, you've gone as far as you can with a situation. So this would be sort of making it formal. This would be, kind of moving away from it. Obviously take it how it resonates in your situation. So after the Ten of Cups, then we have this Hermit energy, and the Hermit it talks about withdrawal. This could be an emotional withdrawal, an intellectual or a spiritual withdrawal, or this could actually be a physical withdrawal. But the Hermit basically spends time on his own, looking at his lamp. He's navigating and moving his way forward. His cloak's absolutely beautiful. Notice that. He's navigating and moving his way forward based on his lamp. And that the lamp indicates that actually the light inside the lamp is the Star card, which talks about our path. So this talks about retreating to get some form of peace, so that we can look within and make decisions on how to sort of move forward based on what is our own truth, what is true for us. And the outcome of this is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is energetically being very sort of committed to a course of action. This is putting a lot of effort and a lot of energy into something, energetically being very committed to something. The Eight of Wands can also talk about some form of messages. I was just really drawn to the sort of the shooting stars and the movement on those ones there. Okay. So let's get a clarifier for you then. So it seems, it seems that you're pretty sort of stationary, pretty static. There's a situation that you may be trying to look at from a different point of view. Obviously you don't want to move forward until you've got this new perspective. But I feel that also this movement forward has been, there is some form of healing or, meditation, rest and rejuvenation that you're undertaking that is preventing any sort of alignment and swift movement forward. So things are sort of static at the moment. They're a little bit sort of peaceful while you have a look inside. And the reaction to this situation is the Nine of Pentacles. So this could be some form of singledom, or this could be, some sort of material independence. Yeah, this is sort of having enough resources to do what you want, being totally independent and self-sufficient. The choices then is the Six of Wands or the Ten of Cups. So this is a choice between, it feels very much like sort of recognition, victory and success, or emotional fulfillment. Now this could be, as I say, this could be one of two ways. This could be either a choice between some form of success and a family connection, or this could be talking about recognizing a connection, sort of more formally maybe, or closing out a family. At the time, sometimes we've got to a point where we don't have anything else to give to a situation. So obviously take that how it resonates. So the unfolding of these, we've got the Alchemist, which talks about manifesting and needing to sort of put in effort and energy to get something created. Or with this Hermit, there is a period of withdrawal and inner contemplation, looking inside to understand what your own truth is. And then the outcomes, we've got the Judgment card, which talks about a period of review and deciding whether we want to close something out, or give birth to something new, Has it all been worth it, and how do we want to progress forward? Or the Eight of Wands, it talks about putting a lot of effort and a lot of energy into something, being very busy and being very committed. So the Judgment card is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so we think this is talking about, do you want to continue? Or do you want to, is there a new opportunity that you want to move on to? And the Eight of Wands is the Knight of Swords. Underlying energy is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups could be a person, Knight of Swords could be a person. So the King of Cups talks about emotional balance, emotional control maybe for some of you. For some of you this could be possibly be a Scorpio or a water sign. But so, okay, so what we've got then is we've got this, the Judgment card and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity to start planting for material abundance, material longevity. So I think whatever this is that we're manifesting, you know, do we want to kind of go ahead and go with it, or do we want to close out the old cycle and start anew? There is some form of judgment that that needs to be undertaken. On the other side, we've got the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. The Knights get situations moving. So with the Swords, this is some form of clarity. This talks about moving forward. So this is real swift movement. The Wands is the energy and the action, and the Knights of Swords talks about the mind. So I think after this period of reflection and retreat and trying to understand how to move situations forward, there is going to be real action and a lot of energy being put into whatever this situation is. Knight of Swords talks about moving forward, swift movement forward. Could also be an air sign possibly. The Knights are the mutable, so it could be Gemini possibly, or Libra and Aquarius also. Yeah guys, so I'm going to leave that there for you. Hope you got something from this. Do check out your other May readings. We've got some love readings on there. We've got various different May readings. I can't remember them all now. I think there's another 2 or 3 on there. There's also timeless love and general readings, so check those out if you haven't seen those. I'll link to the Leo playlist at the end, so that will take you to all of the readings on the channel that are for you. Obviously don't forget to check out your other sun, moon, rising signs if you feel so inclined. Thank you ever so much for watching today. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.